So I'm coming tomorrow to office.
Okay. I'm yet to decide about tomorrow. It depends on today.
Okay.
Otherwise,
How about Lata? How about Lata tomorrow? Do I need to
Tomorrow I'm just thinking
book a room?
come or not.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. Anyway, I will book one room somewhere.
Yeah, fine.
after tomorrow, I'm coming only on 1st of April.
First of April, okay. My idea is my MTM is on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I'm just thinking some adjustments.
Okay. So let's begin this story. Now, what's up on Jeevi? Did you do anything?
Yesterday, one exercise what you gave me is if night sleep is not sufficient because the rest is required for that mind. So simply you sit and do breathing exercise that's equivalent to sleep. I tried. I think it is working.
Okay. It should work actually. You just have to
Yeah.
close all lights, switch off all lights, just watch the breath for 1 hour. It will be like 6 hours of sleep.
But I did it for small, some 20 minutes. But it is very useful.
Yeah. So whenever you feel sleepy, just do that. It will
Mm.
it will remove the sleep. And then
But it should be in the Jagrata Avastha, or you can go to sleepy
no,
mode
you
during that.
shouldn't go to sleep.
Okay.
You shouldn't doze off.
Uh-huh.
You should be continuously watching breath, and the breath stops, and then the mind stops. With the mind stopping, you are completely released. So you don't require sleep.
That's the yogic nidra.
That's what it is all about. Yoga Nidra is only that. Your union with yourself.
Yes.
So GV is only 5 plus 1. That's all.
5 senses.
And the mind. Intellect is coming out of Punya. It's not given.
Yeah, then you also mentioned prana, right?
This 5 is working because of prana only. So what is going out is prana.
So 5 senses is prana? No.
No, 5
5 senses is 5
senses
senses.
will have prana.
Correct.
So with the senses going out, prana goes out. So if you restrict your senses from going out, which is shama and dhamma, then the prana doesn't go out.
Based on your punya.
Intellect is always defined by punya. If somebody is a manda buddhi, is not because that he's really is manda, because his punya is not there. So he will have the 5 senses, but they don't have that buddhi, because buddhi is included in the senses itself. That's the reason all have intellect. All beings. You just see an ant, you go near it, it will. So it has intelligence, right? Otherwise, why will it run away?
Intelligence that I need to exist.
Exactly. So all the 5 senses have intelligence, and that's the reason it's called jnana indriya. It already has information what to do with it. Now, when we say what information, we are taking this, whatever we have done, like science and mathematics and all that. That is part of it only. It's not anything special out of it. So if the senses are sharp, that person is sharp. If the senses are weak in intellect, then the person is weak. So the person means it's only 5 senses. So when we say I am, what you're referring is to the 5 plus 1. That's all. There's nobody else there. With that, you create Jagat, which is physical layer. So now you have something to interact. So you have a mental layer and the physical layer. So mental layer will always interact with the physical layer. Now you name it. You say this is so and so. So whenever you see that person, you try seeing that whomever you are recognizing. That recognition is there in the senses. So when a person goes into coma or he gets into dementia and all that, the physical layer is spoiled, but the senses exist as is. Okay, but he cannot make sense of what he is seeing or hearing or tasting because the physical layer is spoiled. Input is not coming from his physical sense. That is the problem. So he can't know where he is.
So dies, the intellect is stopped.
Intellect goes along with the senses to an extent of how much ever that punya or papa is. So when we say use your intellect, viveka. So let's talk on spiritual viveka. That viveka is based upon your punya only, not based upon anything else.
So
So
if you don't have,
you will never be able
you
to
will
break.
never be able to
Yes,
I mean the Nitya and
correct. So when that is not possible, then Shankaracharya way of doing it is not possible.
So you need a very sharp intellect. Oh my God, this
Jnana Marga is for people
is the good.
whose senses are very good, not just intellect. That it has ability to discriminate what is real and what is unreal. Who is doing it? The senses itself is doing it. There is no person doing it. So when we say we have to drop the intellect, it means the non-discriminative faculty is dropped.
Still there.
It will remain.
Has to remain.
It has to remain. Then when we say drop the mind, we've been using that word for a quite long time. So if you say dropping the mind, what it means? Movement has to be moving from one to another. So when I say I'm going to Southfield office, it is basically you don't have to knock. You are part of that only.
I'm
So if somebody is a most intelligent person, technically speaking, let's say I know some programming, I can develop something. What it means is that the faculty of sight, the faculty of touch, and the faculty of mind, these three are completely developed. So that person can sit and create a product because creation is Brahma. That should have developed. So there are followers. They don't develop anything. They just follow. If there is a follower, then what should happen? The sight less, the mind will be less, so he cannot really use his mind, her mind. They don't get that. So they just follow whatever is there. So when we talk about spiritual awakening, it means that all the five senses are at the highest in that human realm. When that becomes Deva, it will drop off this realm totally. The five senses only, but they drop off. So now your perception is totally different than what was at the human realm. So when I see this table, I see it as a table. But when I go to Deva realm, the table is removed. There is nothing called as table any longer. So my perception is totally different. Then I get into Brahma realm, it becomes totally different than what it is. So the five senses keeps on changing itself based upon which realm you're going to be, which realm the consciousness is going to take based upon its punya phala or papa phala. So if you keep on coming down, then the senses also keeps on reducing. So when we say somebody is moha, what it really transforms here is the senses are completely in darkness. They won't really know. It's all based upon senses. So when we say Jeevi, it is based upon a word called Jivana, which means livelihood of five senses. The sixth sense, mind, it makes things up, which doesn't
integrated.
not only integrate, it creates a new one. Every time it creates one new experience. So it itself is an experiencer, it itself is the experienced through consciousness. So when that is dropped and becomes conscious only, then the senses becomes normal. They don't go in different see, some people have interest towards sight, some people have sound, some people have taste, Some people have touch. Some people have smell. There are no person who calls that some people are good in thinking. No. All these five added together becomes thinking. So you are a very good intellectual or debater or whatever. It means that these five senses are able to pick up information so nicely that the mind is able to see entire 360 degree. Whereas another person is only looking at a 70 degree, 50 degrees, or 180 degrees, or whatever. He doesn't see and that is called as right brain person who will look 360. Left side of the brain is only 180. So you get only a skewed view of whole situation. Now, can you change it? Yes, it can be changed if you are that default mode network is changed. So you have to cross over that, and it opens up everything. So that is how the senses will work. So if somebody says, "Who is a Jeevi?" It's only these five. All the five will make I. Intellect is the one which is defiled or it is totally corrupted. It I in seeing. It says I am seeing.
Intellect is the one
Who is doing that? Yes. So out of four, chitta, mano, buddhi, ahankara. First, the chitta is pure light, just that light. It doesn't have any idea what it is showcasing or projects. Just comes and goes away. In that sense, at that moment, the senses will pick up that information. Then comes ahankara, which says that I have picked up. I have picked up. So from the chitta, ahankara picks up and covers up the chitta itself. Who has first seen it, or I am the one who heard it, I am the one who tasted it. Then it comes to buddhi. Because ahankara is already there, buddhi will feel that, oh, you are the person anyway, you saw it, and it projects on the screen, which is manas. But this manas is not just a screen, it literally comes to life. So it takes part of everything, stitches it. And then we say, this person is Sri Hari. This is done so quickly that can't recognize that he was never a Sri Hari in his first place. But the mind is so hooked onto it that this is Sri Hari only. And this is Southfield only. This is that only. So this is where the Jeevi starts to suffer because now what is unreal is real. What is real is unreal. So now you can't really make out. So when we say Jeevi, it is only suffering. You put all your energy to make what is non-existent existent. How do you make it? Through Jagat. So you require Jagat and Jeevi. You add both of them, becomes Jagat. In Shankaracharya's viewpoint.
So him is only
Jagat. He quits Jeevi completely. He says Jeevi is only intellect. Don't talk to me about that. I don't like that Jeevi. What is Jeevi? It is only the five senses. So what's great in a Jeevi? But you have become totally silent. He is put on mute. Strange. But are you there? Okay. So that's all what it is. So now when I see an object, it's only the light and darkness which is.
I am there. I'm there very much. Only thing is, I was taking the call from my mobile.
Okay.
I was listening, but I was not searching, getting the button.
Okay. No worries. So when I see an object, both of you sitting here, and the third person is virtual, what is Jagat here? Can you tell me which is Jagat in four of us? Now that you've known what is Jagat. No, the object itself. Actually, he's only five elements. It has a person.
The person with a name.
Yes. So now what happens? So now it biased.
Now you only It's like that.
So what I met him yesterday came, and I'm going to meet today. Then I'm going to meet him tomorrow. So past, present, future has come. So when the mind moves to past, it has to drop off present and future.
Because you're recognizing somebody as somebody of your past experience.
Right. So now you have to go to the past. So then what happens to the present?
It's gone.
It's gone. Future is also gone. Now the fear of what is going to happen, because now it has moved to the past. Now what it does is it moves to the future.
Never say.
It can never stay because it's only the moment. Stopping the moment is realization. Now you realize that there was never this person existing.
So actually, if you're able to just find the number, see the sense.
No, you first see your sense and then the senses drop.
When you deeply meditate on that, then you suddenly you don't feel any sense. But there is some I think discomfort.
Correct.
Only once I got that flimsy kind of a life. Before you just go back to your awareness,
Yeah, it just recognizes.
I was there. But I couldn't remove that.
No, you can't remove it till you end the journey. Meaning that will still exist.
So I could see it.
That will exist forever. That you cannot remove.
I can
No. You have to end your life to remove that. It will go by itself. That I is just a reflection. So the main thing goes, the reflection also goes. So again, here Madhvacharya scores the point. He says the main thing will go and then that goes. The main thing will never go, so that also will never go. So it will end up in Dvaita only. Until the Lord Sri Hari is sitting in front of me will bestow, okay, here it is, boss, I accept you as my disciple. Okay, please come. And otherwise that I exist. No, the I will go in different states. Levels will changes.
that awareness and that
See, with our Shastra, the maximum you can go today, you do whatever is Devaloka. That's it. You can't go beyond that. No matter what you try. If you reach Indraloka itself, you have done most greatest thing in spirituality right now. It's not possible to break that barrier. If you break that barrier out of Kamaloka, then you are released.
So this
develop.
the loka what you're talking, various lokas,
Hmm.
they're all in our mind only, or there are like this. You have bhuloka. Similarly, all other lokas, they
I'll,
are mithya lokas,
no, I'll give
or
you.
they're
I'll give you a very good example for you. I expected this question from you. In fact, I was hunting for you to ask me this question for more than a month now. Okay, you have come at the right question. See, now a child is born. Just that child has been removed in the womb, from the womb.
Yes.
Does it know which loka it is?
No.
You will be ending like that only in the beginning. That other people know that he has reached this loka, but you yourself will not know which loka you have reached. It will take your time.
Yes.
Just like the baby takes around 5 to 7 years to know that it is with his parents and all that.
Yeah.
You will know it if you are in Devaloka after few minutes, because you will start to see the dirty side of being human being, the filth.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like the explanation given in Kathopanishad is that it is so filthy that it takes yugas to clean your nose. Once human,
Mhm.
The stinking smell of human takes yuga. So dirty is human. So when Nachiketa went there, the first question he asked was, why did I choose this kind of body? And then Yama replies to that. It's a beautiful thing. You go and read. Okay, that's between Yama and Nachiketa. That's a nearest explanation of what you will feel when you are a Deva. But the problem with Devaloka is you get caught up in Kama. With the fairies who will going to come and entice you with their so many things. So the person goes down. Eventually again becomes a human being or animal. Have you smelt animal body? I think I can ask Lata. Bruno, it will be so stinking actually.
Okay. Particularly for the smell, I got used to the smell. Then we were asking that because the human also has a you are not smelling because in the dog also it is a natural nature. You
Correct.
can't say
There's no way you can get rid of it. In fact, if you keep on playing with dog or cat or whatever, after some time your body turns the same. Meaning you will not be able to smell the difference between your smell and the dog smell or the cat smell or a horse smell or a cow smell or whatever. You can't make out because your nose automatically adjusts itself to that. That means one sense has already dropped towards the animal side. So it's very dangerous actually to keep animals. So if a deva were to get entangled with human, he will ultimately become a human being. He cannot pull this guy to deva. It's the other way around. See, now the dog is loving you because you give food or you give it love or whatever. But you know it is a dog. But Bruno doesn't know it's a dog. So what is the possibility of you becoming a dog? Much higher than dog becoming a human. That's not going to happen. So you have to be careful. And that's the reason till you reach a particular level, no deva will come and meet you in person to learn something from you or ask something from you or whatever. In fact, other thing is going to happen. This guy will meditate on a deva and deva appears. He'll say, please give me this. Which is like a Bruno asking.
sometimes we say not.
So we have to see if you meet a deva, it's like he is like you only. He is in a better place than you.
What about saying?
Same thing.
Well, I keep,
No, they are also same thing. They are disembodied. That's all.
but I see this in body.
Like you are seeing in a body because they can transform that. Otherwise, they are disembodied being, meaning to say that they have taken a vow that before death they would have done that, saying that I don't want any body. So then they can create a body at will. That only you will experience in the mind.
And the mind.
You will never be seeing them outside. Even if they projected outside, it is in the mind only. Like both of you are projected in the mind of the person. There is no person out there. That's the most shocking thing actually. This whole building doesn't exist except in your mind. That's the more surprising, right? And the day you come out of that, you will see the mithya in that. That is when you get shocked that all of this is really not there.
Like you have gone some to it, or that is
Nothing exists. And all the lokas are the same. So the more higher lokas you get, the more perfumed it is.
mind sense.
Yes, refined, and the perfume is also there. You have the natural perfume, and the more lower we get into, the smell will be so odd.
So Deva, the difference is there is no body, but they will have manas, buddhi, chitta, and
No, they
ahankara.
have body. Who says they don't have body? See, until you reach arupa loka, you are having rupa only. Arupa Loka is
It
only
is only it is only after death from this body, right? That
yeah,
Devaloka
yeah.
or
Yeah, of course. I think when you are going to Devaloka, the moment you die, the next moment you are born in the Devaloka.
There is no waiting period, but unlike
oh
Manushya Loka.
Manushya Loka and Prani Loka, where you have the waiting period, there's no waiting period.
hmm.
Yeah, that's the reason so many people will have a vision. Somebody has come and they're asking him to go, and they're very happy to go to that place. Instantly, you're transformed there. It hardly takes even a minute. Then he sees,
Vilas,
yeah,
see, when we say here in this Manushaloka, we are talking about Vairagya. Vairagya means I don't want anything.
hmm,
No. But when you go to Devaloka, you are getting everything, which is much more than what a human being can enjoy in this earth. What
correct.
is this? This is something controversial.
No, it's not controversial. Your mind, if it is developed with Vairagya, then you will not see that.
You will go beyond all.
Then what is the use of Devaloka? Because I don't want that also. That is
It's
the
not
attraction again.
it's not the question whether you want something or you don't want something. It's all about the five senses, what it will do at the time of death.
It will flow the same way. It is not.
It won't change, but just because I wish that I know a lot of things, it's not going to change a wee bit, because what is known here is through intellect only.
Yes.
It is stored in your mind.
And that intellect is dependent on punyaphala, not on the senses.
Don't know your personality also will not be there.
Personality is not at all there. See, we leave the personality aside. You have only intellect. Now the intellect is something which is transitory. You do good punya, you have a better intellect. If you have no punya, you have a very bad intellect. That's all. There's nothing that you are taking anything there. So when I say you or me or whoever, it is only the five senses. So the sense of sight and taste and touch and smell and all that with thoughts is what you are.
Yes.
You die also. You will forget all the relationships.
That's correct. So another thing is that in the five senses, where what is death is that an event where Prithvi remains Prithvi and the mind lets go of it. That's all. And that's the reason it's called Parthiva. That's the only thing you can. All along, it was just a table.
1 minute. I have now many questions around this.
Go ahead.
So the first question is, Prithvi will remain as is, right? Okay, it is rotating in its own axis and solar system. Okay, it will have its own life also. That's fine. So
No, not
when I
that
am
Prithvi, not Bhumi. Prithvi as an element, not Earth.
what is Prithvi element? No, what is Prithvi element?
Prithvi element is hardness and softness. That's all. What is Prithvi? Anything what you see is hard and soft is Prithvi.
Modified.
Solidified. Okay.
It is there in all. It is there in all lokas.
Yes. Why not?
That's not very.
But the quantity of that is okay. I'll give you a very beautiful example. But if you see that chapati, you create that dug, right?
Yes.
First, it is powder. Before powder, what is there? Grains. Correct?
Yes.
Before the
Yes.
grain, it is mud. Correct?
Mm.
Okay. From mud, it created grains. Then you take the grain and go to the place where they will make it into powder. So what is wheat now? It's a powder. Correct?
Yes.
And what is powder? Is it soft? Yes or no?
Powder is soft compared to its previous.
But was the earlier one was also Prithvi, or this one is Prithvi? Both are Prithvi only.
Everything is Prithvi here because solidification is there.
Right. Agreed. So now you keep that. You put water. What happens to that? It joins. There's a binding element. So water binds. Now, is it cold or hot?
It is not hot.
It is cold, right? Still there is temperature.
Mm. Mm.
That is Tejo. Okay, then there is Vayu. Vayu has smell. Gandha.
Yeah.
So if you smell that dug, you will get the smell of what it is. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we say death, what happens? It was remaining these four only as it is.
Mm. Mm.
But there was life into that.
Mm.
Now that life is departed. So the Doug remains as Doug
Mm.
only.
Yes.
Now at present, we have four Dougs here. One called as Sri
Yes.
Hari, another called as Lata, another called as Vilas, another called as Bhatt.
Yes.
Now what falls down?
This 4.
That's all. So what is there to cry? It was all along without any life. It was lifeless. It's because of the five
Okay. You have explained about Prithvi now. The next you are talking about Devaloka.
in Devaloka. In Devaloka,
Huh.
the quantity of Prithvi changes, or rather, the quality of Prithvi changes. It becomes more refined than what is there here.
Mm.
And due to that reason, you don't require nervous system, you don't require excretory system, you don't require respiratory system, you don't require any systems.
Huh.
So there is no
Only Punyam.
only punya. So prana exists in its purest form in Devaloka.
Mm.
Prana here exists in 1/3 form only. That over there it is 2/3 form, let's say. And in Brahmaloka it is full prana. Okay, so at present we have oxygen plus prana.
Yes.
If you remove oxygen, prana goes away. Even otherwise,
Oxygen
prana
itself is a prana vayu, right?
Prana vayu. So when we say prana vayu, because you can't see it, and that's the reason it is called vayu.
See, we have manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara and prana. Together is called, along with this, called Jeevi.
That's correct.
And after that, after that, manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara will be there still or no?
It will be there. That will never go anywhere.
It will be there. Yeah, it will be there because there is no moksha happened. So it is there.
Yes.
It's called Devaloka.
Yes.
It is the next level of Loka.
Correct.
But for this Vairagi, he is not looking for that because the dream is totally end goal. No in between Devaloka.
I'm not talking about Vairagi at all, but we are far away from that Vairagi business. We are talking about Jeevi. Why did you bring Vairagi here? If you are in Vairagi,
okay, Jeevi transformation next. If you do good things, Punyam, you will go to Devaloka. Is it?
No, that is correct. No, if you if you are in Vairagya or Virakta, means you are not in any of the senses. That consciousness does not arise in any of the senses.
Yes.
So there is no birth. So there is no Jeevi at all.
No Devaloka, nothing. Straight away it is.
No, there is no Jeevi at all. Forget about Devaloka or this Loka. There is no Jeevi.
This is called what? Just jump from one state to another.
Which one?
Now what you are talking Vairagi?
Yes.
Vairagi and
no. Vairagi, you don't talk about Vairagi right now.
There is one high hill and there is one.
No, wait. But to answer to your question, first person who is normal, doing good things in life, another person who is Vairagi. If you are a Vairagi right now, then there is no Jeevi at all. And there is no Jagat also.
Yeah, right now it is no Jeevi, no Jagat here.
You are only Ishwara.
Yes.
So we are not talking, we are yet to go to Ishwara. If you have reached there, you please wait, we will come.
No. Because in between Devaloka came, that's the reason.
No, Devaloka is for Jeevi. See, we are still in the Jeevi. We are talking about how mind establishes in each realm. We are not yet there in Ishvara.
Okay, now Devaloka we are attaining because we have done something Punyapana.
1 minute.
Because
hold
of
on,
which it is Devaloka.
Hold on for a second. Where is Devaloka?
Devaloka is beyond this, our Manushaloka.
Have you seen it?
Upper. No, explanation.
Okay, actually that is Jagat. Whatever we recognize as Brahma Loka, Manusha Loka, Prani Loka, this Loka, that Loka is Jagat. We are,
Still it is Jagat.
it's 100% Jagat only.
This is Jagat, right?
Yeah, we have finished Jagat. We are now in Jeevi.
Whatever you recognize is Jagat.
See,
No,
identify.
that is after the death, right?
What do you mean
How
after
it
the
is Jagat?
death? Even now you are in that only, but
Now I am in, I know Jagat, yes. But Devaloka is beyond Jagat.
See, after
no,
death
no, no.
also
All
there
those
is
are Jagat only. So when Shankaracharya says Jagat Mithya, it includes from Brahma level to the lowest level.
Jagat doesn't.
Okay, that is clear.
That's clear, right? This is not my statement. This is the fifth shloka of Vivekachudamani.
Mm.
No, that is from 7 Vyaharati.
Okay, let me repeat
Bhuhu,
now.
Bhuva, Suvaha. That we're not talking about that at
Now,
all. This
yeah,
loka from
I think
Brahma loka below.
just to say,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, just to say again, you will take again birth based on your papa and punya.
Correct.
It may be Manusha, it may be something Prani, it may be something even beyond. It may be even Deva also, right?
Correct.
That's the meaning of this.
Correct. So who
And
takes
then
birth?
when you stop, yeah, but for getting the moksha, so the real requirement is you should be human being. From Deva, you will not get moksha. You have to come back to human being, then only you can do the jump.
That's right, but who will take?
Only from Manusha Loka, you have one door open for finally for your moksha.
Agreed.
Not from any other Loka.
Agreed. But who takes birth?
So then why this is required from going from here to Brahmaloka, Devaloka,
It's not
and again
required.
coming back to Jeevi?
It's not required. You don't like the question is asked. Do you really have to go to Southfield? It's not required.
Not required.
Not
Yes.
required. But still you have to go.
Okay, clear.
Clear? No. So now who takes birth?
Based on Papa Punya, it will happen.
It will happen. It will automatically happen. Okay. Now who takes birth?
Mind.
No. Jeevi takes birth.
Based,
Jeevi takes.
okay. Yes.
Mind doesn't take birth.
Mind is there with Jeevi.
Mind plus 5 senses takes birth.
Yes, correct.
What is required to take birth? It's not Papa and Punya.
It is not karma.
No. You require Ishwara to take birth.
What is that Ishwara here?
Consciousness.
Yes, consciousness and this karma
No, you
combination, right?
karma. See, karma samskara is another thing. But first, let's go to the basic thing.
Yeah, you need consciousness. I agree. Otherwise, there is no birth.
Otherwise,
Fully
there's no
understood.
birth. Now, recognizing that I am born in so and so place, I am doing so and so thing, you require karma.
Yes.
Right. Now, do we?
Okay, just a minute. Basically, we are Ishwara Swarupis. That is the reason. With all this karma and all that put together, it is a Manushya Dharma. I have understood. The core essence is that consciousness. That is what I am.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. You are that consciousness.
It's a requirement. Yeah.
Swami Sarvapriyananda,
Yes.
way of saying, you are that consciousness. You are
Yes.
Satchidananda Swarupam Shivoham.
Consciousness.
Yes.
He is doing.
Yeah. Continue.
Okay. So now the question comes, before we move into Ishvara, the first comes Ishvara. Right? Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Second comes Jeevi. Third comes Jagat. But once you are already a Jeevi, Jagat comes first. Jeevi comes next. Ishvara doesn't come. That's the reason we are lost.
But Ishwara consciousness is there, right?
Have you seen consciousness? Is there is separate.
No, it is like your question is, have you seen your own eyes?
Yes,
Consciousness
absolutely.
is
You will see.
consciousness.
You will see.
Hmm.
You will see your whole body internal, not external. Then you know what is holding what. It's not really theoretical, but otherwise what happens is all of this is experiential. You will experience it yourself. So you have to keep on questioning, like what Ramana Maharshi did. Who am I? Something like that. You keep on doing it, it comes out.
Similar to Taittiriya Upanishad.
Yeah,
Especially it will not.
it will not work. See, no matter how much we discuss on Jeevi Jagat Ishwara, you will always feel I am what I am. So you will forget there is something called consciousness. In fact, we don't even know that we are Jeevi. You see yourself as your name.
Yeah.
So
Ego.
no ego. We are in Jagat only.
Ego is still subtle.
You have still not seen what is ego. When you see ego, you will come to know, oh my goodness.
Yeah, what I see is Jagat, correct.
What you see, what you interact, what we do is only Jagat.
We are only in Jagat.
Yes.
See, 9:30, when I go from this room, I enter into another room, I am in Jagat for the whole day.
Yes.
TV is not there.
Jeevi is not there. Jeevi feels hungry, it goes and eats. It gets angry, it gets worked up.
And it gets hot.
It does everything, and in the end, it gets exhausted. Then it goes home, and again, it feels, oh my goodness, I have to do so many other things, and then it suffers and sleeps.
Then this relief. Okay, TV is gone.
It's arm twisting only. So then the relief is there for 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever number of hours. Then it gets up again back into the same Jagat.
Hmm.
Okay, but a different experience. So yesterday was something, today is something, tomorrow is something, and all that. So to be very honest, we have not seen the Jeevi. Forget about Ishwara. It's a long way to go. Then we are talking Parameshwara, which is, I don't know whether it is really possible. If it happens, it's good for all the 4 of us or 5 of us or whatever. Doesn't matter. We have to try, we have to do. So first you need to see what is Jagat. Jagat is this complete identification. Then you set a relationship which you think cannot be broken. Okay. Then you start getting experiences of that relationship. Just like we have project. So people are there in the project, teams are there. You see them fighting, or you see them working, you see them doing whatever. Now you feel that you are that project. And you say that I have this meeting, that meeting, I need to achieve this, achieve that. All that is Jagat. You identified, now you have to suffer. So you'll have set a relationship. Once you set a relationship, you are dead because you are going to get experience. So only two experiences is possible. One is a pleasurable experience because it is working as per what you thought it should work. Another one is a painful experience because what you thought will going to work is never working. That neutral nobody experiences. So let's only take two experiences. Neutral is that you are literally away from that project, which I don't think so any one of us has reached that stage. So we only feel two. Either we are very happy today because customer is happy, or that is happy, this is happy, my team has started working and all that, or literally unhappy because that guy keeps on shouting and you have to keep on listening and then you have to answer. At the end of it, you feel, my goodness, today was a very bad day, horrible day, I'm telling you. And then you come back. So this is only two experiences. So one who experiences anything whatsoever is in Jagat. That experiencer is Jeevi. Experience provider is Ishwara. He'll keep on lighting things up, that's all. Okay, take it, enjoy. So, conclusion. Jagat we finished, Jeevi we finished today.
1 minute. You said you said experience, experiencer, and
Experienced, or see, you get an experience. right?
Okay.
You is Jeevi.
Yes.
What did you experience? Either
Correct.
painful or pleasurable.
Yes.
Okay. Experience provider. That's like a service provider. You have consciousness, which is Ishwara.
He's a
How
provider.
many
Okay.
substances in that?
So we will never come out of Jagat. So Jagat Satya, Brahman Satya. Because you have to go beyond the Ishwara. That is itself not.
Ishvara itself is not possible.
Ishwara, if we really get Ishwara with our interaction, whatever, you're such a nice being. You'll be very happy, irrespective of whatever is the condition.
Yeah.
You'll be happy because even if that person is dead, you'll see, wow, what a Jagat.
So the really saints are like that.
What a Jagat Mithya. Hey, the consciousness went away and everybody is crying. Wait, let me understand. Hey, it's dead. So nice. Others will be saying, this guy has gone mad, put him to a mental hospital. So because he is out of Jagat. If he is out of Jagat, Jeevi goes away. If Jeevi goes away, Ishvara as a witness. It's just a witness. It's just witnessed. It is true.
Thousand times you have missed one moment itself. Every time available. Missed it 1,000 times.
Because the moment you become Jeevi, it's gone.
That is always presented to you.
So the basic idea, whichever way you take or you work, whichever philosophy, is to stop Jeevi. That Jeevi is running around like with five sense objects, which is Jagat. If you cut Jeevi using Shama, it automatically brings in Dhamma, which will not connect to the sense object. Then you are in Uparati. You have to literally put force. Then you get Titiksha. You have to endure that force of that these onslaught of these sense object. Then you get Samadhana. Once you are in Samadhana, nobody can shake you.
Powerful now.
Then you are in Shraddha.
Imagine. None of the senses of anything. So powerful.
And that is what Krishna in the second chapter, he says that Dhyayate Vishayan Pumsaha. So that is the starting point of Jeevi. So Pumsa is Jeevi actually. So Dhyayate means meditates. So Dhyayate Vishaya is sense objects. Pumsa is the Jeevi. Sangasteshu Upajayate. So it creates a relationship. So you are in related to the Jagat. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Now you start with Kama. So Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So you'll become stingy in the end. Means you don't want to lose anything. This is mine, that is mine, that is mine, that is mine. That shouldn't be lost because I have struggled so much to get it. No, the mind cannot take it now because it is completely engulfed as Jeevi. So it suffers holding that Jagat. So Jagat has become Satya. And Ishvara is totally compressed. So it keeps on going from one body to another. But any question? So we ended Jeevi also today.
Sorry, I'm not very sure I'm as comfortable as Jagat about Jeevi.
Yes, I know you wouldn't be comfortable because you have to first experience all the five senses, which I had explained to you some time back.
Yeah,
How to see
how
each
to
senses.
take sides.
sound, taste, touch, smell, and thoughts. If you don't do that,
Mm.
you will never know what is a Jeevi. So what Shankaracharya did is, smartly he added both of them and said it is Jagat.
What Jeevi also of Jagat, huh?
That's all the thing is that only.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling. So far, based on the understanding of Vivekachudamani, together, I feel that it is Jagat. That is true.
Wait, he's saying something. Yeah, but go ahead.
No, together I felt that is Jagat.
Correct.
Based on Shankaracharya so far.
Yes.
When you say Jeevi, not deep rooted now.
No, it's like this, but Shankaracharya.
Is it your own explanation or
No,
this is
it is not my
Shankaracharya's way
explanation.
of teaching?
No, I have not explained anything outside what is there. I only said
Then why Shankaracharya has not explained in
he
that
has
way?
explained, but he has explained. In fact, the second book is all about Jeevi only. He last says that
which
what is Jeevi? He says intellect is Jeevi.
second book means Vivekachudamani.
Vivekachudamani. We are in the fourth one. I'm talking. In fact, he says all the five senses and everything is there in Jeevi.
No. I have understood like this. Manasa, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara and all this. They are all put
No.
together
Other
is,
than that, he says the senses. So many times he has used it. Second book only I'm talking about. Volume 2. The second part, it talks about what is Jeevi. First part talks about what?
Jeevi and Jagat.
No. First part talks about Jagat. Second part talks about Jeevi. Third part talks about.
Because I have only one book with the huge one. In that everything is there. Let me.
Fine. So it is
I
all the
remember.
four.
I will go there and again see. I will tell you what all it is then. Devanugraha, Atma Vidya, Sadhana Sulushtaya, Bhakti, Padesha, questions, Atma Jnana, Aparoksha Anubhuti, Sthula Sharira, Jnanendriya, Antakarana,
Now you came. Wait. You came to Jnana Indriya. You came to Jnana Indriya. From that time.
Jnana and Karmendriyas.
Yes, from that time onwards, that Jeevi starts, he will take it till the five, what is that, Panchakosha, and then beyond. Then he says that intellect itself, Buddhi itself is Jeevi. I call this as
Antakarana, Panchaprana, Sukshma Sharira, Ahankara, and then Maya, Rajoguna, then it goes to Gunas.
Correct.
Then Karana Sharira.
Correct.
Where is this Jeevi here in this explanation? Are you talking about from
1 minute, but I will, one minute, but I will hand it over to Lata.
From what I understand from Vivekachudamani, they remove Annamaya Kosha. The remaining all koshas you put together, and roughly you can say that is Jeevi.
Okay. Then if you explain that way, yes, I immediately I can connect.
That's
after Annamaya, Sthula Sharira, whatever
See,
inside,
actually, I think you should
Pranamaya, Manomaya.
you should not get lost in the concepts. Annamaya Kosha we can really see, but what is Manomaya Kosha? What is really Pranamaya Kosha? What is really Vijnanamaya Kosha? What is Anandamaya Kosha? You will have to know it. See, once you understand something, then you will really understand why these acharyas have written it like this. That level you should understand.
It's a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Very good explanation. I have understood now. I think immediately I could connect with this. Then,
but that is the reason I handed over to Lata.
Then I will tell you what is my experience with respect to this Panchakoshas. Let me try. Bhautika Sharira, yes, I can feel. Through I can see, I can touch, I can feel and all that. That is Annamaya. When I go to Pranamaya, after that Prana, Annamaya, Pranamaya, then Manomaya. Pranamaya. I think we have nicely studied that also. Prana. I can experience that prana coming, prana coming in. Yesterday we had enough good discussion on that. Prana coming in, going out, aging, etc. Okay, if you have a very good sleep. Yesterday actually I experienced that. Morning, I had a very sound sleep. So that is pranamaya. When I woke up, I could experience that pranamaya. Then manomaya. Manomaya is you have that inside worries and happiness. That also you can experience when you start looking at. Otherwise, you yourself will become that. I'm able to experience. A third one, and I'm explaining again from the Jagat point of view. Okay, that is clear now. Manomaya. After that, Jnanamaya takes a little bit understanding, a little more jnana. And then the next one is Anandamaya, means you have to really go through the process to reach that. Sometimes it happens suddenly for a fraction of a second or few seconds. Okay, I understood now what you're talking about. Jeevi. Jagat understood, Jeevi understood theoretically.
Okay. So, even when you say manas, manomaya, what is actually manas? That you have to observe. What does the mind do in experientially?
Yes. Yes.
Then you can say that you understood. It's not only this worries and things like that you are talking about. What actually the mind does. I think you should ponder over it.
Mm.
Don't talk directly and say it's anxiety, worries, and all that. But you just sit and then see what your mind is doing. You have to experience it at that level. Then you can say that you understood manas.
Okay. Here, understanding manas, you are watching. Who is watching whom? I am watching my manas,
See,
right?
actually, if you really see, one part of the mind is watching the other part of the mind. If you are not able to reach that awareness, it is like you're dividing your mind and you're introspecting. Actually, first you start with the introspection only. Your one part of your mind is watching the other part of the mind.
Yes.
That is the way I think actually happens, right, Vilas?
See, but the thing is, till we reach a certain point, Jeevi, Jagat, Ishwara doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
It's, that is there, it becomes conceptual, but it is not really conceptual. It is absolute reality is two parts. One is Jagat and one is Ishwara. And the first part, if you understand, the second part gets over. So then you see that everything is Ishwara only.
Yeah. That's
So that is the end of this whole thing, what we are trying to do. So for that, you need to first understand Jagat completely. Not as a conceptual or not as a intellectual, not as a remembrance, or not as memorization, not as
Yeah, understood. You yourself should be that. Then
you
only it is
should.
possible.
When we say the three parts to it, but one is experience, anubhava. Okay. Second one is the experiencer, anubhava prajna. Third
Mm.
one, experience provider. What will happen to that? Who is experience provider? Ishvara.
Ishwara.
So Ishvara helps you to get the anubhava prajna, and that
Yes.
becomes anubhava in the five senses.
From Ishwara Prajna, you should experience.
Yes. So when we say Ishvara Pranidhana or Ishvara or Sri Krishna Arpanamastu or whatever we talk about, we are talking from Ishvara point of view, not from Jagat point of view. Okay. But what you should understand is not Ishvara. What you should understand is Jagat.
From the Jeevi point of view, that we the Jagat.
No, that's the problem is, have you understood what is Jeevi? That is where he is stuck now. But he always, you take two parts. Shankara is very right person. He leaves what should be left, Jeevi. It is painful. Who wants Jeevi? So first you nullify what is untrue. Jeevi and Jagat is untrue. Remove it. Ishvara is real. Clear. So when I say I'm experiencing, I'm doing the who is that I am to experience? Only five senses. Which is Jnanamaya, sorry, which is the Jnana. Jnana in Indriya. So Jnana Indriya. So what happens is Annamaya Kosha, you immediately get prana. Prana is coming from where? It's part of the world, but given to the Jeevi by the Ishwara. The Pranamaya Kosha. Then Manomaya Kosha. It imagines. That which is able to imagine things is Manomaya Kosha. Then it has Vijnana. That is 5 Indriyas with its own Jnana is Vijnanamaya Kosha. When it is stillness, when you are lost in what you are doing, you get Ananda. That is Anandamaya Kosha. But all of this is part of Jagat only.
Right off.
It is not to be kept. So the Taittiriya Upanishad base of Shankaracharya is totally different than Taittiriya Upanishad itself. He's modified it.
No, if you say everything is Jagat, then just now we discussed it is prana. What do you call Jeevi beyond?
Yes, I see,
They don't get lost but in those names, Jagat, Jeevi, Ishwara and all. You just forget about all that. Just see what is real and what is unreal. Examine everything.
yes.
Examine what you see. Forget about even the word.
When I examine what is real, what is unreal, that is clear. Jagat is unreal.
But don't come to the conclusion. We know in our minds only consciousness is real. But just look at your experience. Don't name it as Jagat or Jeevi or anything. Just examine the experience and then you will feel things crumbling inside your mind. It will break down.
But another way of doing it, just do what Ramana did. Started with who am I? Just do that. Forget about Jeevi Jagat Ishwara.
If you get lost in the concept, this is what I also felt when I was trying to do something. If you get lost in the concepts, then when you are sitting and trying to investigate, only that concepts will
Concept
come.
will come. It will not really bring
And
anything.
then you will come to conclusion fast. Then you say, oh, this is all. You'll have to forget all the concepts is needed because you need some base to understand. But then leave that and see what is your experience.
What I told is that Shankaracharya is very smart in dropping Jeevi because Jeevi can be only experienced through senses. Okay. So when we take Jagat, Jeevi is already included. So there is nothing called as Jeevi separated out of Jagat. And hence he uses Jagat as Mithya. Because Jeevi itself is a Mithya, so Jagat is equivalent Mithya only. And Brahman is the only Satya, which is beyond Ishwara also. So
After a long time, when Lata was explaining, I was silent, right? It actually started experiencing that. But I think many months, 7, 8 months,
what happened?
I started experiencing the same thing.
What?
When you were explaining, he felt very good experience.
7, 8 months, he said.
7, 8 months back, I used to get suddenly some experience like that in the same seat where I'm sitting now here. Now, when you are explaining, I started experiencing
Getting the same kind of experience. So he's saying that 7, 8 months ago, I had got this experience. Now, while you're explaining, he's getting the same experience.
Okay, good.
Okay, but it's 9:34. So we have to end your experience.
You can continue.
You can continue. So there are many ways of doing it. If you look at Aurobindo, he did through some other way. And if you look at Yogananda, he did it through some other way. Then there is Raja Yoga. There's so many ways of doing it. Basic idea is to cut out the mithya, whichever way you are comfortable with.
Don't think about concept. Because for me, always, when I try to investigate, all the things you used to tell come my mind.
Yeah, that
you
happens.
were an obstacle for me.
Yes, at that time it was happening. Yes, absolutely.
That's true, because not he as a person, but the discussions we had. So it was very tough for me to cut that off. Then only look at.
You can see my hand, right?
Yes, it's wet. Good.
Good.
Just in 2 minutes.
Good. Excellent. Let me put,
Samadhi.
where is my camera? Yes. Very nice. Good, but
I was struggling to understand. Then the moment
Oh, good. Yeah, see. You're in Samadhi.
good. Excellent.
very good experience.
Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow then.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Is there